Hey, my name's Joshua Lawley, and this is Module 7, SMAW, Equipment and Setup. Now, Section 1 explains what SMAW is. It's commonly known as stick welding. The stick welding processes use both alternating current and direct current, even though alternating current is much less common in the SMAW or machines. The electrode or the welding rod is coated by flux. It's a mixture of different chemicals and metal that creates a gas shield that keeps the weld puddle going, and then the flex covers the weld, keeping the weld from falling apart, keeping the weld together, and keeping it from degrading. Now this is a safety list of what to do and what not to do. Always consider the risks when it comes to stick welding, because there's a lot of risk that comes with welding in general, not just stick welding. Welding machines, especially if they're elevated, like on the beds of trucks and stuff like that, they can fall down and injure you and hurt you. Electrical hazards, of course, you're working with electrical arc, so they're already a given. Because the whole idea behind, electrical equipment welding is electrical equipment. You don't want to throw out your back. You need to get help lifting heavy things. You always use fall protection, and if you're high enough, use harnesses and tether up and everything if you're up high enough. And, you're working on something slippery or something like that. Just if you're up high in general. Now, you always wear your PPE, which is personal protective equipment. Always, always, always wear PPE, because as soon as you don't, you're going to end up burning the snot out of yourself, burning yourself real bad. And the clothing protects from burns. Your helmet protects your vision, helps you see. Your safety glasses help from getting stuff in your eyes and hurting your eyes. You have steel toe or composite toe work boots that'll protect your toes, or if something falls on your foot. And you have respirators, where if you're in a hazardous environment, with a small, confined space or something like that, you have respirators that'll help you clean the air that you're breathing. Alright, this is section 2. This is SMAW equipment. This is about SMAW machines and engine governors. SMAW machines have 3 classifications: AC, DC, and AC-DC. AC-DC has both of the electrical currents, alternating and direct current, that can switch back and forth with them. There's several different types of basic welding machines that most of them only produce only one type of current. They include the transformer rectifiers, which turn AC current into DC, and inverter power sources, and engine-driven generators. Now, engine-driven generators are a good bit different, because they often require a lot more startup and a lot more time. I believe the book said 5 to 10 minutes on startup time for engine powered generator powered welding machines. The engine-driven generators have to keep a governor on them. In fact, some of them have a welding operating speed, and a non-welding, like a slower RPM operating speed, just to keep the powers from surging too high and end up causing an accident or, burning somebody. This is about duty cycle and welding cables. The capacity of a welding machine is determined by the amperage output of the machine at a given duty cycle. So if welding machine has 60 on the side of it, it means it can use 60% of its power for that 10-minute time period, or it will overheat. It will burn up, it'll mess up, and you don't want that. Now, welding cables, the current from the machine itself to your rod and where you're welding to. You always have to check for different types of kinks and uh, splits in the side of the protective coating on the outside of the wire, because that'll shock you really badly if you do that. The lugs on the male end of the connector for the cable, it has a lug on it. You lock it in to keep it from pulling apart, pulling loose. It's just a precautionary thing that keeps it from messing up and pulling loose. Alright, you have a lot of different hand tools that you use for welding. Of course, you have your channel locks for carrying smaller things, kind of like we did in the classroom or in the lab. But we have a chip and hammer and the wire brush and hammer, the center punch, and the cold chisel. All of those things are used to clean slag. Now, if you have too much slag built up, it can compromise the weld itself, and it'll mess up, and it'll weaken the weld. So if you have to clean your welds off. Now, the pneumatic tools or electric tools, hand tools that you can use that'll help. I guess clean off the weld easier. I've never personally used them, but um, they apparently help out with making things easier. Alright, section 3, SMAW equipment setup and startup. In order to safely and comfortably weld, the right setup can be everything. The proper equipment, the location of the machine, moving the machine into place, stringing welding cable, and locating the workpiece clamp are all part of getting set up properly. Everything done during setup will help keep you welding comfortably and safely without compromise. Starting the machine is as simple as flipping a switch for the electric ones, the non engine powered ones. You have to make sure that before you turn it on, you turn the machine on, you have the disconnect, and you locate that before starting, because something happens that compromises your safety, compromises your health. You're going to have something that'll stop the machine. And for, like it says at the bottom, for engine driven welding machines, always check the fuel and oil before operating. If you don't check the fuel and oil, it might lock up on you during the middle of welding, and you're going to be stuck out in the middle of somewhere. If of course you run out of fuel, you're stranded out there. When it comes to having that engine power behind it. Alright, here's a summary. SMAW, also known as stick welding, can use AC or DC currents, DC being more common. Proper PPE is a must for working with welding equipment. Using the right machines and the right materials for the machines are integral to successfully stick welding. Having the right hand tools can help keep clean and keep welds structurally integral. The setup of the welding area can keep welders safe and keep them comfortable so they can make good quality welds. and here are my resources. All right, thank you.